This film began with the story of a new employee entering a cash delivery company called Fortico. At that place, the new employee was given the nickname H because his name was Patrick Hills.
H. I'm gonna call you H if that's okay.
Before being inaugurated as a new employee, H underwent a series of tests monitored by his senior named Bullet.
Little practice, I'm sure you'll get there.
After being officially accepted, H finally started his first assignment to deliver money with Bullet and Dave.
Dave, it's his first day.
What? He needs to hear this.
Just fine. Hot Betty almost slid off her seat.
And the task was completed without a hitch.
Okay, Gamma, you're clear.
One day, H returned to duty with Bullet and Dave, but at that time there was an armed robbery and Bullet was taken hostage and made prisoner.
It's 10 grand. The money's in the truck. We have $2.5 million in here.
Dave immediately panicked and could not make the decisions calmly, while H seemed relaxed and took command.
So back in your asshole. Leave this to me.
H initially went along with what the robbers said, but he secretly prepared a plan and attacked.
Who is this fucking lunatic?
After that there was an exchange of fire. H managed to casually defeat 6 people, but strangely, H unmasked and saw the faces of the robbers as if looking for someone.
Did you like poo-poo?
After that incident, H was questioned by the FBI. The FBI looked in disbelief that H could beat 6 people alone. At that time, H was also asked to see the robbery tapes that killed 3 people 5 months ago. FBI asked if H had anything to do with it, but he said no.
Kill or be killed. Seem to focus the mind.
You alright to keep watching?
After the rescue action, he became famous and respected in his workplace. Not long after, the FBI who had previously asked for information from H now spoke to his boss that they knew H and he had been a fugitive for 25 years, but the FBI boss instead ordered his men to let H go.
Oh, it had him written all over it. Let the painter paint.
Meanwhile, H was back on duty as usual with Bullet. On the road, they were robbed again and now the robbers were using quite clever methods. They finally got out of the car because the inside was already crowded with gas attacks from the robbers.
Chinatown, Broadway and Hill.
Surprisingly, when a mugger named Mike saw H's face, he told all his colleagues to get back in the car and drive away. Of course, this made everyone in Fortico wonder. Bullet secretly spoke to Dave that he felt that the robbers knew H.
What the fuck was it, Mike?
They just walked away.
It was as if he recognized H.
The story then returned to 5 months ago before H entered Fortico. At that time H was with Dougie, his only son who was a teenager. H was accompanying Dougie on vacation, but his man named Mike called and asked H to scout the direction of the money truck.
And it's the only time I get to see him. It's your fucking job.
H was forced to agree and temporarily left Dougie alone in the car, but while returning to the car he was shocked to see that the money truck had been robbed and Dougie was shot. H ran towards him but he was also shot by the robbers. H had seen the robber who shot Dougie. That person had a scar near his left eye. 3 weeks after the incident, H just woke up in the hospital. After he recovered, his wife was angry with him and blamed him for the death of their son. While H was devastated, he took out his anger with a revenge plan.
I was obsessed with you, and still you have nothing to say.
H secretly met with the FBI boss and the person handed over a list of possible killers of Dougie. They also agreed that H would act his own way to commit revenge.
Somebody always knows something, it's just I'm not allowed to.
The floor is yours.
Then you gotta let me do this my way.
After that, H met 3 of his subordinates named Mike, Brendan, and Moggy. The 3 of them admitted that they had desperately searched for Dougie's killer but to no avail.
And we've been on nothing else trying to get answers.
H was dissatisfied with that answer and they finally continued their search.
I need to know who pulled the trigger.
Understood.
They went to many criminal gangs and tortured them for information, but all was still to no avail.
They ain't our men. That job was above them.
Got a feeling they'll be cleaning up all day.
Finally, Mike had the courage to tell H that they couldn't go on like that. It would be detrimental to their group and not necessarily fruitful. Finally, H understood and started moving alone.
You have your pistol license?
Since then, H was assisted by Kirsty to give him a new identity. Not only that, Kirsty was also the person who prepared all the information and data needed by H, including personal data from Fortico officers. The story then switched to a group of criminals who were former soldiers. They were named Sam, Brad, Carlos, Blake, Jan, and Jackson. Their leader was Jackson. They were meeting after a long time and talking about their poor and boring life. After discussing it, they decided to return to the robbery.
Cash.
Wait a minute.
It's fucking what?
But the results were meager. In the end, they decided to rob something bigger, namely a cash carrier company. They were not easy to detect because Jackson, their leader, was very smart and forbade them to live conspicuously. Of all the members of the group, Jan was the one who looked the most uncooperative. He often acted as he pleased and didn't like being ordered around. In addition, Jan had a scar near his left eye just like Doogie's shooter. And sure enough, Jackson and his accomplice were the perpetrators of the Fortico truck robbery that killed Dougie, and Jan was the shooter.
Fuck! You shot too fucking large, Elvis.
The story went back 5 months later when H was already working at Fortico. It seemed that the Jackson gang was again planning a robbery, but this time it's not just a truck of money, but a robbery directly at their headquarters.
It's 160 million.
They had an insider who would help them carry out their actions. That person was none other than Bullet. On the day of the robbery, Bullet was on duty with H as usual.